in celebration of Jim Carolla's upcoming 92nd birthday. Here's a list of 92 things Jim Carolla has never done. Number 11, rode in an RV. Just one of 92 things Jim Carolla has never done. Let's get back to the Adam Carolla Show.
All right, Eddie's here, and Jodi's here, and Max Zapata's got some news stories here.
Yeah, so I definitely want to talk about Leno, because this morning it was reported that Jay Leno, like 10 days ago, was in a motorcycle crash.
Mm-hmm. What?
Yeah, so he suffered a broken collarbone, 2 fractured ribs, and 2 cracked kneecaps. And it was just reported. It's reported 10 days later.
But also, isn't the universe trying to tell him something?
I know.
Didn't he just have his face blown up?
He was, he showed me pictures on his phone of his face in the hospital. It was gruesome. It was literally gruesome. His recovery was miraculous and speedy and insane. I was reading about it this morning and said he was out on one of his vintage bikes. So he has these vintage motorcycles. Is it bra? It's bro or bra. It's like BRAU or something. It's like a motorcycle that's $250,000. And he bought this whole 10 of them, like someone's whole bra collection. You know, it's, I don't know, 40s, 30s, 40s, English, something. And he was out on one of his vintage bikes. You know, the thing about new bikes are quite a bit safer than old bikes. New bikes have disc brakes and anti-lock brakes, and you don't lock up the front and stuff. Like old bikes have drum brakes, and they're dicey. They're kind of hairy to ride.
Well,
but
you want to know? It wasn't. I don't even know if it was that. So what happened was he was riding.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah,
he hit a. I couldn't. I read his explanation, but it sounded weird. But you tell it.
Okay, yeah. So riding the vintage motorbike, and so he started to smell some gas leaking. So he turns into a parking lot, and he says, "quote Unbeknownst to me, some guy had a wire strung across the parking lot, but with no flag hanging from it. So I didn't see it
clotheslined
until it's too late. It just clotheslined me and knocked me off the bike."
Wow, that's like something you see in like action films when they're trying to stop the bank robbery.
And
you know,
right.
Like,
Between two trees or something.
Yeah. God.
How old is Leno now?
72.
I mean, he's not a kid to be bouncing back from all this stuff like this.
Yeah, 72.
I mean, I'm a pussy. I could never get on a motorcycle. I've never ridden a motorcycle. There's just such a small margin for error. I don't care how good the technology is. It's 2 tires, one goes, you're done. I can't do it.
I used to ride full time. That's all I had.
And you don't anymore?
No, well, a couple things. You could get around town fast, like super fast, especially if you rode like I rode, to just split everything all the time. Like you couldn't stop me. I was a maniac on that bike. But also when you're poor and you don't have enough money for a cool car or a sports car or something like that, you could drive a piece of shit mini pickup truck, or you could drive a Kawasaki Ninja. And like when you're 25 and you're trying to get laid, you're much better off on that Ninja than you are in the truck. I had 2 Ninja 600s, a enduro bike, like kind of a dirt bike, and a Honda 404 or whatever, and I was also convinced I was going to kill myself on it at some point. You know, the first person that sold it to me sold it for her son. Said kept saying he's going to kill himself when she was selling it to me, and then I bought another Ninja 600, and I don't know. You guys tell me. I'm not a superstitious guy. That's me in front of my truck and my Honda 404 when I was like 23 in North Hollywood. But we have, I went and bought, a guy was offering a banging deal on a Ninja 600, and me and another dude from the Recycler newspaper showed up at the same time. And he's like, I want this bike. And I was like, I want this bike. And then the guy said to us, you both have the money? You have the cash? And I was like, yeah, I got the cash. And he's like, I got the cash. And he's like, well, then we'll play rock, paper, scissors and just like see who gets the bike. Yeah, he should have had a bidding war.
Yeah.
Right.
But he played like he flipped a coin. I won it. The guy left, and the guy goes, where's the cash? I go, oh, I don't have the cash. I got to go get the cash.
It's just nuts. I had to go out to Agora Hills last night, and the highway's packed, and then all of a sudden you're in just bumper-to-bumper traffic, and these bikes are weaving through, cutting
that would have
bumpers.
been me.
They just have a death wish. I don't mind the slow speed stuff. Like, again, I look ridiculous on this kind of stuff, but like a scooter or something like slow speed on the shoulder to get around. I have a second home in Vegas, right? And the thing I see a lot in Vegas now, which I still can't quite figure out, is the electric bikes. Have you seen a lot of those?
Yeah.
Yes.
Kind of defeats the purpose of riding the bike, no, because you want exercise.
Yeah.
But then the people that I talk to about it say, well, and I've had this happen to me. I'll take my regular bike in Vegas like 5 miles from my house. And then when I come back, I'm like, oh, it was so easy going that way because the wind was at my back.
Yeah.
Now it's at my face, and I'm literally walking it because the wind is deceptive there. So I guess the electric bike comes into play there, but the electric bikes are like all the rage now, at least around there.
You can
see
get
them
around
everywhere.
town fast on
Yes,
one of
you
those.
can.
I have one. My son has one. You kick ass on those things.
Question. I have to go back to that picture. Why are you in a robe and sunglasses?
I did not
Going
own
on a date with Eve Plum.
I didn't own a bathrobe.
You're wearing a
Somebody
bathrobe.
gave me a bathrobe.
So you're wearing someone else's bathrobe.
Well,
and your
they gave it to me.
sunglasses.
I owned it at that point. I did not have a sash for the bathrobe.
You're holding it closed.
So I had to hold it with my hand
But why are you
closed.
taking a picture in anyone's bathrobe?
I lived in the apartment that was directly upstairs, like at the edge. It was my apartment building. I had my Dawson truck with my bed box I bought used too. It didn't have a lock on it.
So you were
And my
just like,
Honda
I'm going to take a
404.
picture today and I'm going to come out.
No, I would have never taken a picture. I didn't own a camera. I never took pictures. I don't have any pictures.
this picture?
I was like walking out. I don't know who took the picture, but a friend of mine or somebody pulled up in some old beat up jalopy or something, and I like came down to like move my bike or something, and they pulled out their camera, and I did great, I'll pose if you're going to pull out your camera.
Because taking a picture at that time is a much bigger undertaking than it is now.
Yes, that's
you
what I'm
gotta take
saying.
the photo.
That's what
You got to go to
I'm
the
saying.
photo mat.
Yeah.
You got to get it developed. You got to get the
Yeah.
print.
Yeah, that's Laurel Canyon and North Hollywood, California behind me. But yeah, I rode a bike full time, and I'd ride it in the rain, and I'd do it. I'd ride it anytime,
You
anywhere.
didn't have to wear a helmet back then either, did you?
Yeah, I
did?
wore a helmet. I
did.
don't know if that California had a helmet law. They
Right.
probably did.
They didn't until
they now?
the 80s, right? Or 90s?
Do they know?
California?
Yeah.
Is it? Does California have a safety rule? Yes, they have all of the rules.
Is there anywhere where there's no helmet?
Yeah.
In the country?
Yeah, you go to Tennessee and
Florida, I
Florida.
believe.
You travel
Florida.
around. You'll see.
Sure, South Dakota, Sturgis is out there. I'm
Oh
sure they're
yeah,
not
you'll
making
see
you wear
a lot of
helmet.
non-helmets out there. California passed the helmet law in '92, so
Yeah.
this is before
Yeah.
'92.
Yeah.
Well, I chose to wear a helmet.
Well,
because,
good, yeah.
I didn't want to fucking crush my head. But then I sold the bike, and the guy bought it, crashed it up the street.
Oh my gosh.
I know, it's a great story. He wanted me to take it back, and I wouldn't. It was a crazy story. Being poor is an interesting. Being poor makes for interesting adventures.
So many stories.
So many adventures.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, Leno.
All right. Yeah. So
He's got a 1939 Bro Superior, BROUGH Superior, which is 200 grand. And he has quite a collection of them, but he was injured riding a 1940 Indian.
Oof.
Same vintage.
Indian motorcycle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to say Indian.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I assume everyone knows everything I know.
Yeah.
Indian motorcycle. Yeah, that's it.
But anyway, yeah. So terrible luck.
Yes,
With
two
his
times. I
collection.
mean, I wouldn't leave the house if I was him. Not for a while.
You kind of wonder about his wife, who doesn't.
Or is she trying to?
Mavis. Yeah, you kind of wonder.
She might be, yeah.
No, what I mean is like
Sitting
he's
on that bike with a wrench and
loosening
late
up
at
the
night.
brakes. He's at the shop all day, every single day. If I go there right now, he will be there. That's where he'll be. If he's not on the road, he shall be at that shop. Even when he's filming, he films basically at the shop, unless they go out and go for a test drive or something. But he's there all day, every day. He's on those bikes all day, every day. He has a jet bike. He has a turbine bike, which is like crazy. It's pretty hairy piece, fast, big,
Right.
kind of scary. You kind of wonder when the wife of 46 years is going to put the kibosh on going out riding. My thing with that would be, I would totally get a bike. I would totally go out with Jay. I'd go out riding on Sunday in a group.
Okay.
It's when you use it every day and you're using it for transportation and you're trying to make time. That's when it gets a little hairy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it is what you said about the economics of it still very much applies, because obviously, especially with your gas prices here by comparison to the rest of the country, it's a lot more affordable.
I used to pull up to the Arco on that 404 you saw in that picture. The Arco is right on the corner, 100 yards away. I'd pull up there sometimes and put 50 cents in the gas tank.
Oh my God.
I mean, gas was $1.05 at the time or whatever, but I was broke as shit. I'd put change. I would fucking put change in and put like a half gallon in and make it 30 miles.
Oh my God.
Coins.
What else?
Yeah, but I remember going to, the one thing we have cheap, relatively speaking, in New Jersey compared to the rest of the country still to this day is gas. It's pretty much the only thing that's relatively cheap. It just didn't even feel like that long ago that you'd pull into a gas station and say, give me $10.
Right.
And that got you half a tank. And now you say $10 and they look at you like, why am I wasting my time? Because in New Jersey, we can't pump our own gas. It's one of two states where it's illegal for us to touch the pump.
Yep. And I always forget that because I'm from Jersey, but I've been out here 25 years. And every time I go home, I get out of the car to pump and the dude's like, whoa.
They have signs, if you want gas, stay in your car.
Yeah. Or worse, here where you just sit alone in your car, just staring at your watch.
Yeah, exactly, crying. Like,
I was at a gas station the other day, and a girl's like, "Hey, can you help me pump my gas? I'm from Oregon, and I have no idea."
That's the only other state.
Yeah.
Oregon and New Jersey. Yeah.
All right, what else we got?
Well, just put a button on that too. You're talking about Leno filming in his garage. He's no longer going to be doing that as of now, because after his 30-year run of having a TV show on NBC. CNBC source tells the Hollywood Reporter that it has decided to cancel Jay Leno's Garage.
Oh.
Yeah, which has been a staple of its primetime lineup since 2015. So, maybe he'll get something else, maybe on Peacock or something, but right now it's looking like it's
unfortunate that happened, but I think he's going to be okay.
Yeah, I think
he's going to. I think he'll make it.
I think he loves to work, though. I think he loves
I've been on
stuff.
Jay Leno Garage a few times. Fun, easy guy to work with. So I hope it lands somewhere. But yeah, it is weird to have Jay Leno not be on TV.
He'll be on
after
something.
He'll be on something,
of
course.
Oh no, he does. What's My Line or Win, Lose or Draw or whatever. He does
He's
a game
Fox
show.
Game show, yeah.
Right.
All right. Well, here's a story out of Michigan. So there's this pastor. And he went viral on TikTok because he claimed that in 2016 he had a heart attack and he went to hell.
Oh, you read this?
Yeah, and he has. So this is what his story about going to hell. One, he starts it off with, "I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy," but. So he's a pastor of 7 years, and some of the things that he witnessed while visiting hell was a man walking on all fours like a dog and getting burned from head to toe. His eyes were bulging, and worse than that, he was wearing chains on his neck. He was like a hellhound, and there was a demon holding the chains. But there's a part that caught everyone's interest was they played music in hell.
Yes.
Oh, it's got to be Man-Eater.
Was it Slayer?
Lick It Up.
I know.
Lick It Up. It was the Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
It was the Brady Bunch.
See, Eddie.
To cover the temptation.
Slayer.
Eddie
Gotta be
knows
Slayer.
metal, right?
Slayer's I'm a metal guy. Slayer.
Yeah, hell
Slayer
is
is
a common
the
theme.
soundtrack of the apocalypse.
It was not Slayer.
Was it Rihanna?
It was Rihanna. Yes. So
That's worse for me.
I know. So it's hell, right?
That would be
bad
for me,
Slayer.
right? Relatively, yeah.
So he said that he heard songs like Rihanna's Umbrella and Bobby McFerrin's Don't Worry, Be Happy. But he said it wasn't sung by the original artist. It was sung by the Brady Bunch. It was sung by a group of demons that used the words to torture us. So he says demons were singing these songs, but it was Umbrella and Don't Worry, Be Happy.
Demons are covering.
The big question is, what was he doing in hell?
Yes, that's where I was going, because you said he was a pastor, right?
Yes.
So what the hell did he do, no pun intended, to end up in hell?
Well, he says, I was angry with God because I did so much good in my life and ended up in hell. I rose up out of hell and returned to earth, and God spoke to me. He said, you were secretly angry with the people who harmed you, and you hoped I would punish them. These are not your people. These are my people. So I sent you down to hell to just get a taste of it and see what you were asking me to do to other people.
Do you guys, here's a philosophical question. If you could pick a heaven or a hell, but you only get one, then which would you pick?
Heaven.
Yeah, who's
No, it's not. Only one exists. And so now you have to check your wiring, because people would say, well, I'd like to go to heaven and I'd like to be reunited with my grandma and my dog, which is a common, that makes sense.
Yeah.
On the other hand, what about Hitler and Mussolini and
You get to go.
Kevin Smith and certain publicists, you know what I mean? Like, where don't they need to be punished? You know what I mean? What about all the harm, all the heartache, all the misery?
It's not my job to punish them. I just want my own heaven. I'm very selfish.
Stalin starved 50 million peasants. Like,
but wait, what's the alternative if you don't take one? Nothingness? Like you're saying, heaven. What's the alternative?
It's nothingness.
Just
see, my wiring is I would take the nothingness to have every pedophile. I think they would call it's funny. I think in the Bible they call it not it. I'm trying to think of the term they use. It's not burning in hell. It's like tormented.
Tormenting. Yeah,
tormented.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like a picture. Like I always sort of pictured like you have a TV and the remote doesn't work, and it's an old styley one that has the knob, but the knob breaks, and you have to use needle nose pliers to change. To say like that would be that's how I think about torment. You know what I mean? But so do you go to the place and you play air hockey with Janis Joplin for the rest of your life, or do you mete out some justice for every pedophile and serial killer?
I play with Janis Joplin. Whatever.
Yeah.
I want the people punished. I will take the abyss of nothingness to have people punished.
Oh.
I hate it when people get away with shit.
All right, well.
Now, I'm not going to know any better. I'll just speak on.
Yeah, so
That's
heaven
true.
would be your personal hell.
Yes.
Because knowing that
those
these
people
guys
were not being
these guys
punished.
are up there with us.
that you could potentially be hanging with Hitler in heaven, is what you're saying.
You wouldn't want to hang with Hitler.
You want to be hanging with him, but if he's there, if that was his pick,
No.
if he had the same option,
Oh, Hitler.
Yeah.
if he had the same option, he's going. Yeah, he's not going to nothingness,
No, he's
right?
going to heaven.
Well,
So
there's
you're
going
there
to be
playing air hockey with him.
No, because I'm going to treat this like one of those homeowners associations in New York. You know, there's going to be a vetting process. How many pets do you have? You single?
How many
do you
Jews
like
did
to
you
throw?
kill?
Yeah, throw parties. Yeah, do you march people to ovens?
Yeah, what's your percentage?
Yeah, how much gulag knowledge do you have? For instance, like things of that nature.
Like that vetting process.
Yeah, so there's no chance that Idi Amin is going to run into anyone in heaven. That he's not going to run into Bob Saget. You know what I mean? We're gonna keep it a little tighter
All right, a little tighter there.
than that.
Maybe this is why Nancy Pelosi had an exorcism the other day at her house. She's trying to vet this out herself right now. You think?
Yes.
On
You heard
Earth.
about that?
No,
I
did
heard
not
about that.
hear about
Yeah.
that.
Her daughter said that she
An
ordered
exorcism?
an exorcism.
For what?
I don't know.
For who?
I have
For
no idea.
Paul, for the bad,
hammer guy.
the
I don't
hammer
know.
guy,
Wow.
The Pape.
the Pape. He
Well, they
broke
just
in.
released that video. today.
Yeah.
You want? I have it if you want to see
I
it.
have not seen. Do you not? I know we're going in a different direction
fine.
here, but do we? But did the video show anything? Like what went on? Really?
Well, yeah, it
It
was
just kind of showed what happened, basically.
But wasn't the whole story that he didn't appear in distress when the cops showed up? Like they were kind of hanging out?
Yeah, everyone's arguing over, was he in distress? Who opened the door? Things like that.
So is any of that answered?
Yeah,
from
kinda.
the video?
It seems like, I mean, let's watch
I'm sorry
it.
if you
can
guys
see for
covered
yourself.
this already, but I
No.
just for some reason that just came in my head when
all of the sort of conspiracy theories, it seemed like a crazy guy broke into his house, and it seemed like he was able to reason with the crazy guy, and then at some point the crazy guy went crazy. And I would say I could see myself reasoning with somebody who was reasonable, who was clearly insane. Then the conspiracy theory is like, did they know each other before this? And
And then
obviously
he was like,
we can't
okay,
tell
now
from,
beat the shit out of me.
from the
Right.
tape. But
Yeah,
it's
so
pretty-
California court today released the surveillance footage from the October attack on Paul Pelosi. So the Superior Court made the footage public after Judge Stephen Murphy denied a request 2 days earlier by prosecutors to keep it secret. Now, we can watch it here, so we'll play it for you. So this is the body cam footage. So they're walking up towards the door. They've already gotten the 911 call.
I definitely don't want all of you.
Pretty nonchalant walk.
Nonchalant walk, no rush.
Somebody,
but here we go. They'll knock.
Well, they go away from the door and then they turn back and.
So they knocked, and he'll turn around, and then you'll see the door open.
Yeah, but you don't get to see the door open, right?
You do.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
I must have been watching a different tape. Or an
So he'll
edited version.
turn.
Yeah, Lily's in there. Hi. How you doing?
How are you?
What's going on, man?
Everything's good.
Hi.
Yeah.
Has he already
Drop
been
the
hit with
hammer.
the hammer
Not
yet?
yet. You'll see it. It's
What is going on right
I'm
now?
not getting an answer on calls.
yeah, and very violently.
Yeah, it was crazy.
All right,
Oh my God.
they tackle the guy after he gets hit, but yeah, full swing.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's weird how they come. I guess, like you said, he was trying to kind of keep him calm. I've heard about this a little bit in other like home invasion situations where people have actually kind of almost talked the person off the ledge and reasoned with them and like, let's get a cup of tea and talk to buy time until you can get someone there or get them out or whatever. So I don't know if that's what was going on, because when the door opens, they're like, hey, what's going on?
He's
And
clearly
of course,
not well. Did you see the look in his face? He was like smile. He's crazy.
They're both grabbing the hammer. Pelosi looked like he had like a drink in his other hand. He was like in his PJs and like his boxers or something. And I don't know. It was like very hostagey. Like, oh, everything's fine. Everything's good. Like, I don't know what.
I don't know
what to
either.
think.
But
like,
that swinging, that was not like, okay, now you hit me. That's like that guy was trying to kill him.
well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sort of with Pelosi in the sense that I would have been that way. I would have been trying to like de-escalate,
You would've,
de-escalate. Come on in.
Let's just not. Yes.
Yeah, everything's fine.
If anything, it's just like my house. I don't want to break a lamp. You know?
Look at Pelosi's face, to be honest with you. He's trying to stay calm, like, oh, everything's fine between us, but he has a look of pure panic, like, please help me.
This guy's big too.
Where'd
He
the
is
guy
massive.
go in? Where'd the guy break into? Like, where'd he go
broke
through?
in the back.
He went through the back through a glass door. He hammered a hole into the glass door and just
He's got a
Into the back,
nice.
yeah.
By the way, here's how you know you have a nice house. If you have a stairway with nothing under it, where you go, how's that stairway floating there? If that stairway is divided,
That's a nice house.
is conquering gravity, you're doing good. And let me tell you where you're doing the best. The best is when you have two stairways where you walk in the front door and go, do I go to the right or I go to the left? Because they both go up and end up in the same place.
Yeah.
That's nice.
When
That
you
is
got to
nice.
choose a stairway,
That is a nice
that's
house.
when you've arrived.
Well, the Brady Bunch had two stairways
They
in
sure
their variety
did.
show. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
On that note that you were saying, there's a show on Netflix or Hulu called I Survived a Serial Killer. And it's all these women that throughout the years actually were either abducted or attacked by a serial killer and somehow lived. And this one girl, I think I've seen it on something else, she was taken by this guy. He had killed already like 5 other girls and he was having sex with her. And she switched gears and was like, I'll be your girlfriend. And she got him. They spent like a couple days. He was raping her, and she was like, "No, I'll be your girlfriend. It's okay," and whatever. And he let her go. And he actually thought to himself, because they did an interview with him, like he knew he was going to get caught after that. But she was able to like ask him questions about his life. I'll be your girlfriend. It's okay. We don't have to. You know what I mean? It's okay. And like you remind me of my like she did that.
I'm laughing because I think Netflix
hell?
has just figured out they're just making the titles of their shows knowing chicks are going to watch.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Oh, my
going to
God.
fucking pitch something called
Yeah, I survived.
a serial killer with the help of Oprah, Michelle Obama, and my cat. And I'm just going to pitch it to Netflix, and they're going to go, what's it about? And I go, I don't give a fuck. It's not going to be about anything. It's going to be number one for the next 7 years with every Yenta, and they're all going to watch the shit out of the show, and then they're going to ask me again what the show is, and I'm going to go, it doesn't matter what it is. We can show the Brady Bunch singing Silver
They have a
Platter.
show called A Man in a Van. That's what they have a show. It's about people that just kidnap other people in vans.
Right.
Like, that's it.
I will watch the shit out of that.
Am I the only one that is completely like, I don't know, put off by all of this obsession with this true crime stuff where I feel like it's
you are not.
fueling other people, giving them ideas?
No.
I mean, I had somebody come to me with a video game. They pitched me, they wanted me to VO a game where it's like, we're actually going to go to where the bloodstains are of true. I'm not fucking doing this. It's just creepy out.
I think I have a different angle, which is sort of like the Australian tourist guy dating the 23-year-old who looks like a 9-year-old, which is, why are you ladies so obsessed with all this horrible misery? Like, what does that make you?
I joke about it. It makes our lives feel better. I actually don't.
I get it, but it is kind of
it's gruesome.
It's gruesome,
It is.
and there's an obsession with this gruesome, and maybe it's all Schadenfreude, but I'm like, I don't even want to. It feels yucky to me.
Well, now it feels yucky to me because I'm a parent. But to be
Good.
honest with you, you know that documentary, that docuseries, "Don't Fuck with Cats."
But the greatest documentary I've seen in like the last
That
5
one,
years.
yeah, so great. But
and
I could
Oprah
not
and
watch
Michelle Obama.
Yes, that one too. I couldn't
Sequel.
watch the beginning of it. I could not watch him torturing cats, which
No.
is actually how it started. But when he tortured a human and killed him, I was okay with that.
I swear to God, I can't believe you said that because I'm a cat lover, and the only time I turned away is with the cat in the back.
I
couldn't look.
fast-forwarded it.
I turned away, but at the end, he's killing people. It's like, oh yeah, whatever. Because I didn't think
God.
it was real. I didn't feel like it was real.
All right, let's bring it home.
All right, check out the Water Cooler Podcast. Here we go.
All right, I'm going to be everywhere: Solana Beach, West Palm Beach, Baltimore, Naples, Florida, Kansas. Go to amcrow.com for all my live shows. Eddie, Trunk Nation, available Sirius XM, daily live, 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern, by the way, and on
103.
demand with the app as well, podcast. The Eddie Trunk Podcast as well. Kyle Dunnigan, you go to KyleDunniganComedy.com for all his live shows. Jodi Miller, she's got shows coming up on occasion as well. JodiMillerComedy.com. Well, she's a gainfully employed writer, but you can check her out on the world's funniest weather as well. Check out your local listings for that. And until next time, this is Adam for Eddie and Kyle and Jodi and Chris saying mahalo.